Hi Bio4 and welcome to part 2 of heart or cardiac. I wanted to make a simple drawing for you guys like this because it's hard to see in a regular drawing. So if I make my scribbles, I think it'll help you a lot. So this is how I like to draw the heart. The right chamber, remember its anatomical position, so you're looking at the individual. This is the right side of their heart and this is the left. And I've made them separate because that's kind of how they are. They're two separate chambers that happen to lie bang up against each other, but really they're entirely work on their own. So we can draw them like this separately and it'll make it easier to understand. So each of these chambers has to have blood that comes into one chamber, into the second chamber, and then shoots out. The other one has to come into the chamber 1, down to chamber 2, and then out. They're going to do the same thing. So we would need to learn all the vessels that come into each chamber and each valve that is in the chamber. So let's do that. So I started here with my drawing, and here I'm going to be superior vena cava. Superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava are going to dump into the right atrium. This is the right atrium. Okay, and that blood then is going to go down into the ventricle. So atrium and ventricle. It's going to come into the ventricle, and then it's going to exit through another vessel from the ventricle. So I'm going to have it go like this, and it's going to exit, and that's a trunk that will separate later on into pulmonary artery. So this will be the right pulmonary artery and the left pulmonary artery. But then this part here, where the blood is exiting out, is going to be pulmonary trunk. So write those down. If you need to pause the video, do that. Okay, so we're ready on this side, and we're going to label it as right because this is left. And now this blood here has gone all the way to the lung. So we're going to draw a little lung like this, and it's gone over to the lung. It's picked up oxygen, and from there, it's going to come back to the other chambers, now on the left side of the heart, to pump it, to distribute it. So one is picking up oxygen at the lung. The other one is using this pump to distribute it throughout the body. Okay, so what vessels are coming in? What vessels are going out? That's all you have to remember. So coming in here are going to be a couple. So we're going to draw two like this and make this like this. And coming into this chamber here then, let's do it like this, is going to be pulmonary, because pulmon means lung. So pulmonary veins. So these are pulmonary arteries because anything leaving the heart is an artery. Anything arriving at the heart is a vein. So pulmonary arteries, pulmonary veins. Pulmonary veins. Comes in, blood is going to drop down into here, and then I have to pump it back out. So I'm going to pump it out, and that's going to be via the aorta. And big turn like this, close this up, and this then is the aorta, and I'm going to pump all the blood to the rest of the body. So let's do those again. Coming in is superior and inferior vena cava. Exiting, pulmonary trunk. It's going to separate into right pulmonary artery, left pulmonary artery. Gone to the lung. Now it's going to come back. It's going to come back via pulmonary, because still from the lung, veins, and coming down into the ventricle and exiting through the aorta. The aorta was going to continue on and go to lower body, and it actually has some branches that go up to the arms and head. So you'll learn those more in lab, but just think of it, if it's going up to the arms and to the head, you're going to call it brachio, arm, cephalic, head, brachiocephalic. So that's going to be on your list too for lab. Okay, so we're doing really well there. Now I'm going to add in another color. I want to add, let's do it in green, we're going to add the valves. So once you have blood coming down into here, from chamber 1 to chamber 2, let's say that, atria to ventricle, you don't want it to backtrack. You want it only to be one way. So it's like a door that only opens in one direction. You can open it in one direction, but if you try to come back the other way, it jams. Okay, so that is going to, you need a valve here, right? And we have this valve like this with, I'm going to draw it like little triangles, so that blood can come down, but when it tries to come back, these little triangles, they're more like a parachute, will fill up with blood. So think of the door. This door opens this way, it can't open that way. So this is the valve that will close that up. So we're going to put one valve there, so it prevents blood from backtracking into the atria. But when you eject blood from the ventricle, you need something to block it from trickling all the way back down again. So the next set of valves is going to be right here at this opening. And this is going to allow another doorway that opens one way. It opens that way, it doesn't open that way. Okay, we're going to do the same thing here. At the base of the major artery, we're going to put a valve. And over here, we're going to put another one. Okay, so we have our valves. This valve has 3 cusps, 3 little parachutes. So it is called the tricuspid. Tricuspid. This one only has 2, so that one is the bicuspid. Okay, right there, door one way. And these 2 here, 1 and 2, they are semi-lunar valves, because really in a different view they look like little half moons like this. If you were to line them up, they look like this when you open them up. So they look like little moons that allows blood in one direction and not backwards. So they're called the semi-lunar. So this is the pulmonary semi-lunar, write it down, and aortic semi-lunar valves. Okay, now I'm going to change my pen color again, and I'm going to go to red, and in red I'm going to see the circulation of blood. So if I were to follow one drop, I would come down here, and as it goes down, it's going to come into the atria and come down into the ventricle, and then shoot up through the pulmonary trunk and go through the pulmonary arteries. And then it's gone to the lung. When it returns, it's coming in through the pulmonary veins into the left atria, down into this ventricle, and then out through the aorta, and out it goes. Or if it goes to the head or to the arms, it'll go out that way. Okay, good. So now what you need to do is take these 2 pieces and slide them together. So if I were to slide this side and the other together, and the aorta would actually slide under the pulmonary trunk. Imagine sliding these 2 together, and there you have the circulation and the different vessels of the heart. So I hope that's helpful, and let's go on and show you just one picture, and then we'll come back. No, I think I'll stop there. I'll stop this one here, and then we'll see real pictures, not my little boxes. Okay, thanks for listening, guys. Bye.